What's happening, folks? Welcome to a special edition of the TPO Dock Talk podcast. We're sitting down with the Nebraska Kayak Bassmasters tournament director himself, Mr. Brian Johnson, tonight. So let's go ahead and get the bills paid and get this thing fired up. What's happening, folks? Again, we got a special edition here. This is a pre-recorded episode. I repeat, pre-recorded. If you're tuning in, thank you so very much. We love you guys for jumping in, watching the recording here. This is not live. So if you're commenting and wondering why Brian and I aren't speaking to you, that's why. But leave your comments here. We'd love to see them, and I'm sure we'll, when we get a chance, we'll come back to them and get a chance to reply to those bad boys. Hey, man, before we get going here, before we bring Brian in, he's sitting patiently waiting to come on in. There's a couple things we wanted to take care of real fast. First and foremost, as a promise that was made this season, we're going to remind you again, if you know of, if you're a neighbor to, if you're aware of a veteran, a first responder, a family member of one of those, or an active military, reach out to them, say, hey, if you've got a friend or a family member that falls in one of those lines, make contact with them. Just reach out, see how they're doing. Always remind them that people are around them. Always remind them how much they mean to us as a community and how grateful we are for the life that they chose. It's an important piece here in our attempts to help stop 22. When it comes to helping prevent our brothers and sisters losing the fight here when they get home. They fought hard for us over there. Let's make sure when they come home that they know that they've got people nearby and close to them. So as a point of that, just always remember, don't let that slip your mind there. Just reach out, go have a beer, go have lunch, have some watch some of the Olympics, whatever it is. Just do your part there. All right. Also, one thing we wanted to make sure and shoot this out here to you guys. I talk all the time about the organizations that have made it possible for the TPO podcast to be in place and for us to be out here doing the mission that we're doing. We got a lot of things going on here. Now our work with Heroes on the Water, that's been fantastic and going off every couple Wednesdays. Been doing a lot of work with the Denver VA with that. But these organizations here that I'm about to show you, these are the organizations that, yes, I trust and use their gear and have for years. A couple of them are brand new with us this season, but more importantly, I'm confident in the fact that if you use the equipment or the products that they sell, you will not be unhappy. I'm sure of that part. But more importantly, it's the people behind these organizations. Every year when I come to these organizations and I ask them if they're going to be on for another year to help us stay on track, stay on our mission, it's more than just going out and fishing, man. It's about keeping us out there doing what we're doing and getting more of our nation's warfighters into kayaks and getting them on the water and getting them outdoors, connecting them with like-minded individuals. And these are the organizations every year that step up and say, yes, they want to be a part of this. So not only do they have, great products out there, but it's great people that are behind these organizations. And that's why we're so proud to be a part of them and so proud to have them on board. So give them a look, take a peek at them. That's, like I said, you will never be disappointed in that area. All right, man, the bills are paid. So let's go ahead and bring in our guest here. And let's find out who this guy is and get to know the Nebraska Kayak Bassmasters. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Brian Johnson. What's happening, Brian?
Not much. Thanks for inviting me to the podcast.
You bet, man. You bet. We appreciate you stopping in here. We've been trying to reach out to our neighbors here, but this one's a little more special too because of the fact that you got myself. I'm going to be on the way at the end of this week. Looks like a bright and ugly Thursday morning. I'll be on the road trying to get there by the break of day. And we got a whole gaggle of Colorado dudes on the way out there to Elwood to come fish with the Nebraska Kayak Bassmasters, man. This is a cool deal. Talk to me about the club. How long has the Nebraska Kayak Bassmasters been functioning?
Well, this is the second year that we've hosted a tournament. I kind of have to go back a little bit. I believe about 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember. Maybe it was 2020. We hosted a Bassmaster tournament, Nebraska tournament, so that we could send an angler or two to the classic the next year.
Right.
That kind of went away. It wasn't. It didn't go through. I guess things weren't followed exactly. So we kind of took a year off, and then someone mentioned to me, "Hey, can we get that started back up again? You help with another club, the Sticks in Nebraska." And so they asked, "Can we get this Bassmaster started back up again?" So then I had to talk to the Nebraska president and go to one of their meetings, go through the red tape, if you will,
Right.
to
Right.
get the club back on their little schedule or their books. And so I got that done. Let's see, that would have been fall of 22. Yeah, fall of 22. And so 2023 was the first time that we hosted one at Wahoo, Nebraska, and we had exactly 20 guys show up. We sent two down to Oklahoma earlier this year, and now this will be the second event that we're going to host. And looks like I just got number 24 lined up, so we're going to be able to send two people after this weekend down there. And so that's it for the club. We don't run a series, and I
Right.
better point that out.
Right.
I'm directing this because I have a little extra time, and I can go to the meetings for Bassmaster Nebraska. When I go to these meetings, it's 99% because I'm the only one that's kayak, 99% boat, and they go through their whole Bassmaster series tournaments and information. I just have to kind of show up and acknowledge that we're still a club, if you will. But it kind of goes up and down because really we don't have a series because Nebraska has two clubs that have full blown, 6 tournament series throughout the year. So
There's the Sticks, and who's the other one?
Heartland Kayak.
Do they claim Nebraska as their homeland? Because
I mean,
they jump around.
they jump around. How about this? They're based out of Omaha,
Gotcha.
so I would claim them as Nebraska. But yes, they formed that club. I think this was their third summer. They formed that club with the idea of venturing out, go to
Yep.
Iowa, go to Kansas, to go broader instead of just in Nebraska. And so that's why we don't have a Bassmaster series, because there's so much going on. When I ask guys in the Facebook group, let's take a look at the schedules. I really can only put down about 3 weekends or so that, because I let everybody else have theirs. I'm going to fish in those other series events also. So,
Right.
we can't compete. Plus, we have a lot of Nebraska guys that travel nationally,
Yep.
and off camera right before we were just talking about All American.
Yep.
That's nearby. Those guys, they're based out of Missouri, I believe.
Yep.
So there's a lot of kayak fishing going on. So
Isn't there?
one tournament to qualify a couple people to the Bassmaster, classic. I still call it the classic, even though it's
So do I.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's the classic weekend that goes on there, and it's kind of funny because a couple of years ago on a podcast I made the prediction at that point that if they put the resources to it, they will become the big dance. There's just no way around it when it comes to bass fishing, and you got the name bass out there. They just need to put some resources to this and get serious about it, and it looks like they've kind of done that because now they're 200 plus every event now.
yes,
Um,
this weekend,
Hobie was
23 or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hobie's been feeling the decline of the market the same as we did at the All American. I mean, we're not as big as those guys. We never tried to really compete against those guys at the All American, but we still are as national as they are. The difference is we go in the Midwest from
Right.
Minnesota to Texas, right? Um, and so from that aspect, but yeah, we felt the decline of the national traveler. They've kind of all focused in on, and it looks like Bassmaster has taken that. Do you see now? You're with the Sticks, man, and the Sticks is that's one of the OG clubs out there, man. The Sticks has been around. And I mean, they've got a name out there, right? When I was first looking into kayak fishing, the Sticks was the one of the big names out here out west. To me, it's what I could see as far as the number of people. Only reason I didn't jump in is at the time you guys didn't allow motors, and I'm a motor guy through and through, so that's the only reason I didn't look closer. But how long have you been working with those guys?
Well, even before the Sticks, because
Oh wow,
the Sticks didn't have, the Sticks name until I believe 2019 was the first year they had the name. But before that, there was guys in the area, and we have to shout out Marty Hughes for being the original kayak fisherman
OG
of
himself. We love us some Marty Hughes.
tournaments.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wasn't quite sure exactly what you were going to be asking me, so I had to go back and look on my phone. In October of 2016 was my first kayak tournament that I went to. Drove
nice.
up there. Yeah, drove up there. It was horribly windy day, cold, caught zero. Went in and said, I caught zero, stood around and watched everyone else, you know? And I
The
was like,
walk of shame.
basically, I'm like, I am out of my league. I don't even know what's going on. And I only found out about this from like Nebraska Game and Parks forums of,
Sweet.
there's random tournaments popping up and stuff. So yeah, the adults, if you will, they've been running tournaments for a while, but then the Sticks name has come out in the last 4 or 5 years. So those guys that have been fishing longer than that, that's kind of really the grassroots of where it all began.
The Andy Moores, the Marty
Yeah.
Hughes, those guys. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I hope. By the way, Andy had himself a hell of a
Yes, he
tournament.
did.
Come in. Looks like second place.
Second place.
That 10 fish format, man, I'll tell you, people were not too sure how it was going to play out this year with the All American. But I love the fact that you are never out of it, man.
Correct.
Ten fish whenever you catch them. And if you keep your head down, and keep grinding, keep working. Andy, I think, was sitting in third. I think he and Tyler swapped places today. I think is
Mhm.
how it looked. It was Jordan, Tyler, and Andy at the end of day one, and then Andy overtook Tyler in there. So yeah, I love that format. I love the excitement, and super cool seeing Andy doing what he's doing, man. That dude. Yeah, he's been around forever. So I'm hoping to
Oh
have
yeah.
him on the show tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. The Nebraska is no slouch when it comes to creating bass anglers that know what the hell they're doing. I mean, the list is crazy. And I've always said this. I coached football for about 18 years, and I've always taught this principle because it was taught to me, and that is iron sharpens iron.
Hmm.
And when you get a chance to compete against the likes of the names and the anglers that you have up there in Nebraska, that's just got to make you guys, it either makes you quit or it makes you get better, right? It's one of the two because you don't want to do that walk of shame too many times, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Five dinks is better than no dinks, man.
For sure.
I'll say that all day long. So that's cool. And we just did something similar with the Nebraska. In Colorado got its start. The Colorado Kayak Bassmasters got its start very similar to what you're doing. Nebraska's club. Their first year, I think they hosted one event. It wasn't even in the state. I think they went over to Nebraska over there to host an event for our first one to get going. And then I think old Jimmy Straws saw that the want was there. There was room for a club that was maybe a little bit more focused just on the competition side. And so it's kind of grown every year, and the CKB continues. We used to do, 16, 17, 20 guys. Now we're close to 30 every event.
Right.
And there's people that they want a taste of this, man. The desire to go, especially when they got the classic coming so close to us here, man. They don't
Yeah.
normally do
Oklahoma, and
that.
then next year Texas.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so we actually got the Wyoming Kayak Bassmasters has been formed, and now next season we're going to. I know they're working on getting some stuff set up for Wyoming there. They'll dip down to Colorado. They might even dip over there into western Nebraska as well.
Yeah. There's a
Um,
there's a couple up there northwest Nebraska that they could probably make the trek to.
yep.
That it's not too far.
Yeah, I think the hardest part up that direction is
Amenities,
logistics. Yeah, amenities.
logistics,
Exactly.
amenities. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, dude, if you don't go in with a pelt and salt and pepper, you might be in trouble, right?
Yeah, for sure. You got to
It's
research where you're going to camp, or if you, I know there's guys that sleep in their truck.
meanwhile, 2 hours, west here, we got during holiday weekends, we have state parks that close out their gates because we're overflowing with too many people in them. But
Wow.
yet you can go 3 hours to the other direction and there's nobody, man.
Right. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I know which direction I'm eastbounding down almost
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
That's awesome stuff. So let's talk about when this airs. This should be airing on Wednesday
Yep.
of this week. We are recording, folks. Remember, if you're trying to comment right now, we thank you. We love you guys for your joining in with us. But we are not live. This episode is pre-recorded. Hey, I forgot I have one of those right there. There we go.
There you go.
And so yeah, just leave your comments in here, and we'll reply to them when we get a chance to get back around to the video and see it there. But we're going to be going to Elwood. That's the site of the 2024 Nebraska Kayak Bassmasters Championship event. One singular event. 24 anglers registered up. A
Yep. Just
nice
got 24 about 30 minutes ago.
a nice mix of Nebraska and Colorado anglers coming in. Do we have any other states being represented in there? Anybody else jumping in?
I don't think so. I think it's I didn't we didn't I was thinking there might be a Kansas that would pop up, but we haven't. Nope.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I haven't. I know they have a Bassmaster Club, but I don't know much about them. I gotta do some more research on those
Yeah.
guys down there. But so yeah, man. So Elwood Reservoir. Now this, if memory serves, if I read my stuff right, this isn't even a state park, so there's no fee to get here.
No, there's no fee to go in. It's um I probably have this wrong, but it was dammed up, created by like the power districts. Um, it wasn't the state park or anything, and it's an irrigation reservoir,
So
so
it is
it
an
ebbs and
irrigation.
flows. Yeah, it's an irrigation reservoir. Um, there's not much to it. There's basically one way in, one way out, and but it's really big, and motors are a thing now, so everyone's got motors pretty much for the most part, or a
Yep.
Hobie, so should be good. And there's
And
one other thing. There's, as far as I know, I'm no expert. I live on the far east side of the state. It's going to take me 4.5 hours to get there. So, um, largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass all in that lake. That's what they tell me. So we'll see what happens.
see, and that's what I heard too. Is that there is a uh, lively um, what my words just left my brain. Getting old sucks, Brian. Don't
Species,
don't do it.
lively
There's
amount
a
of,
there's a population of smallmouth in that water, and that
yeah,
of
yeah,
course, the thing about smallmouth is that guys that fish for them, like us here in Colorado, that's probably our primary target most of the time is smallies. The thing that I grew up on though is in cutting my teeth with smallies is that I hate trying to predict anything off of these things because they're so freaking nomadic that one day they're here, next day they're gone.
I
If you
see.
if you catch them on a given day, count your lucky stars and burn them down, right? Just catch them, catch them, catch them because chances are they're not going to be there tomorrow type deal. Unless you're talking deeper populations. Sometimes those will hang around, for a little bit. Is there deep structure at this place? Do you know of?
I am no expert at this. I know that there is plenty of structure.
Nice.
I do know that depending on water levels, there are sometimes stumps that may or may not be visible. So
Very cool.
there was, I suppose, before they created this, plenty of vegetation or wooded area. Um, so it'll be interesting because there's lots
Yeah.
of different types of structure in the lake. I know that for a fact. Um, there's been a couple tournaments. If you guys want to go down the rabbit hole and start
I, I,
searching
I
places,
have I have already. Yeah, yeah.
um, I'm guessing the biggest fish will be largemouth. I'm sure there's going to be a couple smallies thrown in there,
Right.
but I don't think we're going to see any. Um, I'm not even going to pronounce the word, but this week's Bassmaster National Tournament with those 20-inch smallies up
All right.
northeast. Oh man! But yeah, it should be interesting.
or Jordan Westerman up in Monaco almost putting a 200 burger up, put
Yeah.
197 and a half, I think is what it was.
Those are the
Oh,
places to go fishing.
oh man, and I said this the week leading up to it. If you want to do a trip, if you want to see, if you're a bass angler and you're from the West out here and you've never been to the northern reaches of the United States, this is the time to do it, man. Get up there, put your level 13 DEFCON 7, DEET on to keep those mosquitoes off you,
Mhm.
but get up there and see what those footballs look like, because that's what they remind you of, is just footballs. They're fat, they're strong, they're mean as can be, and they're just a pile of fun to catch. But when I took a look on CMAP through my Lowrance there on my phone app, I started looking at Elwood pretty close. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I started getting really, really excited at what I'm seeing there, because like you said, there's a lot of structure on this
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
I don't think a guy can really go wrong with grab this section and go to work. Put your head down and just take your time and pick, find the spots within the spots, and you should find what you need there. Here's the most interesting part of this. This will be the first event for me out of a kayak. This is going to take me back to the old boat days, except we're not doing it by calling numbers, but having one ramp to launch from.
Yeah, okay. So a year or two ago, I camped at Johnson Lake, which is 4 or 5 miles north of there. That's a state park, and drove down to Elwood because to see it. I have never been there. Went to that ramp, drove back out, looked around, and thought, I guess that's it. You can't. There's not much else going on out here. So it's kind of a nice secluded place. I'm not sure about the boat traffic this weekend. I think it's just a fishing lake. It's not some that I'm aware of,
Yep.
a lake where people go out and have fun because there's no amenities, like a place 5 miles north of Johnson Lake where they've got cabins, they've got houses, they've got camping, they've got everything. So
I think
should be fun.
a shotgun start. Is that what we're looking at? Basically, when we go
Yeah,
official time, everybody can leave
yeah,
from the
we'll just
inlet
go.
there.
Yeah, I put that in the group 5:30 from the ramp. Everybody can take off. Give you a half hour to go travel wherever you want to. First lines in at 6 a.m. Lines out 2 p.m. And
Nice.
then yeah, see what happens.
I'll tell you, if you want to know just how, so I'm an old goaltender in hockey. If you want to know just how superstitious and how much I'm locked in on certain things, I watch stats real close. So
Yeah,
what I was watching is in that vote,
yeah,
the Nebraska guys, the names of the Nebraska anglers that I know that have fished it before. How long do you need? That's
yeah.
what I wanted to see.
How
And there
far
was
are you gonna go?
exactly that helps me decide how far I need to go.
It's a windy big lake. So
Yeah.
I before I even typed that up, I knew it was people were going to say 30 minutes. Last year we had it at a smaller lake. 15 minutes was plenty to get to the
Yep.
other side wherever you want to go. So 30 minutes it is. 5:30.
Most of the time for us out here at the CKB, we're 15 minutes, because I
Yeah,
mean the biggest water we probably get on is Pueblo Reservoir,
yeah,
and even that you can 15 minutes if you're clipping away with a motor at almost 4, close to 4, it's almost a mile, to get where you need to get started, and that's pretty legit, and when you're talking 25, 30 guys or whatever, you can spread out like that. Nobody's on top of each other then, so
yeah. And you just said the key word, motors. Motors in the
yeah,
past 2 3 years have crept up. So I think
yeah,
things change a little bit with that too.
yeah. It really does. It's for me, it's always been my objective when I left the bass boat world was I had so much muscle memory from fishing off of the deck of my boat
Oh yeah, I
that
bet.
I didn't want to have to relearn a ton of stuff. So I looked for, that's what helped me choose my kayak. That's what helped me choose my gear. The rods and reels I had to really, quite frankly, shuffle out. If you see behind me, those right there, those rods,
Yep.
those are my old boat rods. And quite frankly, they just don't have the action the way I need them out of a kayak for the hook sets and such. And so, unfortunately, a lot of those kind of went to the wayside. I think I might be in a little bit better position now that I understand, my positioning a little better.
Yeah.
But early on, man, I was whiffing on those hook sets so bad because I just wasn't getting, the backbone into it quick enough, and I didn't realize how much the kayak moved, right?
Right.
It's like, holy crap, the deck of my fishing boat is moving.
So when you switched instantly, did you start standing in your kayak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons I went with the New Canoe Unlimited, was because of its stability. On top of that, we wanted something super stable for the outings when we take our guys out, guys and gals, when we take our the warfighters out there. I wanted something that was super easy, low learning curve, that they didn't feel tippy in it. And I've had a couple guys within 30 minutes, they're standing up in these
Yeah.
things and throwing buzz baits and,
Yeah. Yeah.
just enjoying life there. And so it's been cool to see. But yeah, for me, I like to stand. I probably need to stand more,
Oh,
just
I see.
because I'm, with my knees and everything else. And so I'm probably going to, start working on that a little bit more, get my quick twitch muscles going and
Yeah.
make sure I got my sea legs about me. But yeah, standing's a big part of it. How about you?
I am in a send, and
Nice.
I can stand a lot. I don't have a motor, so and actually I'm probably the last paddler in the Nebraska kayak competition competing. So
You're
that's
full
me,
paddle, huh?
all full paddle. And I have told the guys. I think I told the story last year when we met talking about our next events and stuff. I said I'm going to win one, and when I do, I'm going to have that paddle in the picture.
Hell yeah, you should. I have the utmost respect, man, for the guys out there that are paddling and pedaling and so forth. And to me, it's one of the things I loved about the kayak side is, hey, man, whatever you feel comfortable with, that's you. You do it. Drew Gregory, he's got those little boats, man, those little crescents that he runs around in, and he's whooping tail, out of those
Sure.
things. I think that's, to me, that diversity piece is what I celebrate the most about, that I love about the kayak game is we got a guy here in this state that I would never bet against him, and he's running around with a 7 inch, little Lowrance, damn near black and white, little deal that he's running. And I'll tell you what, he's fishing this weekend, and I guarantee you he'll be up in the top, sides of this. And I love seeing that.
Yeah.
I love seeing that it's not at our level, especially equipment is not tilting the scales right now.
Right.
Maybe it is at the high end. I still don't see it there though. Not enough evidence that tells my scientific brain that it's, gear is making that big of a difference right now. I think it's still
Well,
angling skill, and I think the kayak game
knowledge and
helps level that
everything.
out. Yeah.
You we just met tonight, but we've had a little chat. I pay attention to the national tournaments, Hobie, Bassmaster. I don't want to say it's the same people, but the people that get to the top, you know who they are. It's not their, you know, they're that
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's who these anglers are, and it's from the hard work and time on the water, man. Isn't
Yep.
that the
Yeah.
the end all be all right there? Time on the water. Well, good stuff, man. So Elwood, we got a shotgun start. We're gonna be starting off. That's on this Saturday. I'm getting into town myself Thursday. How about you?
I'm just coming in on Friday.
Nice.
I'm not entering in the event. We've got 24 people. Um,
Oh, you're just
so
gonna TD the thing then?
I'm just gonna run the thing. I haven't
Awesome.
decided yet. Last year, at the lake we were at, I went out for a little while and fished, but I didn't want to get in anyone's way. I think this year, instead of going on to Elwood, I might drop my kayak in Johnson and mess around there. They have some smaller smallmouth fishing.
Nice.
I don't get any smallmouth fishing over on the eastern side of the state, so I might
Right.
do that for a while and then hop back out, get in my camper, and hop on the laptop, do some judging, and get ready to go.
So you're camping at this one.
Yeah, I
Nice.
have a camper and I get my kayak up on my truck and I'm going to camp at Johnson.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Well, we should try if you're all available, man. I'd love to meet you when we're there and get a chance. Maybe we'll go out and grab some dinner, whatever, on Friday night or whatever.
Yeah, Friday I'm thinking that I might have like an hour where I could set up, and if guys want to take care of signing their liability paper,
There you go.
paying their $40 entry fee, get that all situated so that Saturday morning I'll probably still be at the lake around 4:30 ish or so,
Right.
and get everybody all set up. But if people want to get that taken care of Friday evening, after I get into Johnson, maybe I'll
Yep.
meet people outside of Johnson somewhere.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm looking forward. It looks like Tyler and Marty are going to make it back from the long
Yeah,
haul. They're gonna jump
yeah,
right from where they're at, come down here and fish Elwood. That's
I
super cool.
know. That is pretty cool. Um, we've only had two years of this, but and those guys are fishing that national tournament. And I've talked to Steve who runs Bassmaster. We can have roll downs, I believe, in all of these tournaments. So even the Colorado guys, Nebraska guys that qualify,
Yep.
right now we're mixing our tournament, and you've got about 10 guys coming over from Colorado. I know some Nebraska guys head over to Colorado tournaments too.
Yep.
So
We'd like to try to promote the heck out of that, man. Every year we have a big meeting at the end of the year with the CKB. We go out and get as many of us together as we can and have dinner, and we talk club business at the end of each season. And one of the things we've all been talking about is wanting to work more with our neighboring states to help boost each other's numbers and participation. Because, like I said, I told you off air, for us here in Colorado, a chance to come over and fish in Nebraska waters, damn straight, we're on. We're in for that just because so many reasons beyond the pressured fisheries. We got some, we're turning into Eastern California out here,
wow,
and it's really rough, man. When we've got a couple very prominent reservoirs that are now like a 24-page application just to be able to fish it.
geez,
They're charging a horrendous fee, and they're not even a state park, right? And
right,
it's like, come on, man. We're just a kayak tournament here, trying to we're the guys that are helping your body of water, not hurting it, right?
yeah, yeah,
You won't catch us leaving, beer cans and stuff all over the damn lake and speeding through, with this or that, so it's like, it's silly, but in usual fashion, that's the way it rolls down. So we've
yeah.
been looking to expand out. So anything we can do, I know we've got a couple guys that have been going down to New Mexico and fishing with them and their bass
Oh
club.
wow,
Matt Ramey down there, great dude, and great club down there. And so yeah, it's anything that we can do to help you out, man. We're all about that. Strawbridge has been a fantastic director and leader, and Matt Flanagan helps him out here for us. And those guys together have built a really cool deal. So we're pretty stoked with that. So anything we can do to help Nebraska Kayak Bassmasters, you bet. Especially when you come to like Central like that,
yeah,
that's super cool, man. We
yeah, yeah,
appreciated that.
yeah. That was again. This isn't my series. This is my tournament. I just am the guy in charge,
Right?
doing the paperwork and everything. So almost everything I put up there is to a poll. What lakes do you guys want to go to? And what dates? 5:30 or 5:45 start
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
bother me one bit. I just want to make sure guys have the opportunity to get down to the classic in Texas.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I was there last year as a media with the podcast, and I got to tell you, man, if you get a chance, definitely make the trip. You just, if nothing else, if not for the kayak championship, at least just to come see the classic.
Right.
What
Yeah.
a
Go through the booths and
cool,
everything. Yeah.
cool place.
I
Yeah.
bet.
And it's, ICAST is the big show, but that's really
Yeah.
for vendors, right? I
Right.
mean, that's a vendor show. This is for the anglers, man. You can get up close and personal with a bunch of anglers, pick their brains, meet a lot of people, and of course, the deals that they have going on at these places is pretty. I was watching some dudes walk out of there with just piles of stuff. Like my wife would kill
Yeah.
me if I did that.
That's
Well,
their
this
Black Friday.
Right, right, exactly. So, do you see for the future of Nebraska, are you going to keep doing just the one-off deal, or do you think with the popularity of the national championship and with that national series getting stronger and stronger every year, do you think there's room to throw in a couple more events into there? Or what are your thoughts on that, just in where you're at?
We floated the idea around. I help with the sticks also, and I talked to them about it. I think it comes down for us. We always try to keep money
Yep.
That's always an issue. Not an issue, but something that is always on my mind and other people's minds. How many dues? How many entry fees? Time away, camping, travel, and the guys that want to travel the national tournament, that's what they like to do and go ahead. And guys that don't want to, one tournament in Nebraska to try and qualify down to the classic is a good deal.
Cool.
Shoot, we already have to pay a $50 Nebraska due, and then there's the Bass Nation due. So guys are already spending $80 before they even sign up, and then we have the tournament. So that's something to always look into and think about, especially if guys want to fish with the Sticks series or Heartland series or even All American. It's a lot, but
it is.
Yeah, so probably just one for now, unless
Cool.
something else. Again, this isn't my show. This is the angler show, and if people come walking with pitchforks and we need a Bassmaster series, then I guess we have to have one. But also, there's
pitchforks. That's the limit. Got it.
Also, there's only so many weekends.
Weekends, right?
And Nebraska is plenty far enough north where April is just not the best. The Sticks in Heartland, they both get close to May 1st, and even then, sometimes it's hit or miss on the weather. So
the last 2 years, we've tried to hold an event out here in April, and it's been beautiful weather, and then blizzard, snowstorm right on tournament day.
Then. Yeah,
it's like, are you kidding me, man? Yep. Yeah, it's been.
You think it's over, and then sometimes you get snow, like you said, May 3rd. Random snowstorm doesn't ruin anything. It just ruins your day.
Oh yeah. It makes it.
You can fish 2 days later, but
and I'll say this, younger me, weather was not a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Older me, dude, I don't want to go out and wrestle with freezing line on my gear. I just don't. Yeah. That's not fun. That's you're not proving anything. I mean, younger guys, well, you're not wanting it. You're right. I don't want that. I have no problem, young buck, telling you that, yes, that's dumb. I should stay home and drink hot cocoa is what I should do.
Yeah.
This year, man, I old manned it for sure because I woke up, saw the weather. I'm like, no way. I went back to bed. I'm like, I'm going to go to the tournament, but I'm just not getting there at 4:00 in the morning when it's 22 degrees and blowing snow. I'm like, nah, I'll get there around 9-10 o'clock when things start to clear up.
Yep.
But
we get wiser in our old age.
Right. I don't think the guys in the middle of the country and down south can appreciate what we have to deal with in these states where we freeze up. So we only get like a May to October, a little bit of November. I think
if you really wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's cold water, but a little bit of cold air. But you can. I personally love camping. During that time.
Yeah. September, October camping is great.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the podcast, when I looked, it was like October 8th was my first fishing tournament ever, and it was horrible weather.
Yeah.
But, who knows? 2 weeks later, it could be 70 and wonderful.
Right.
You just never know.
Yeah, we're in that zone. Nebraska, Colorado's in that zone that we get those we get that weird, goofy weather that can just flip on a dime like that. But we only have, I think, we have one body of water that remains open and is legitimately fishable throughout the entire year.
Well,
within striking range of the majority, and that's Pueblo Reservoir for us. Mm-hmm. It rarely ever freezes. And, most time you can still go down there and it's a winter bite. It's tough, slow rolling, but there's still fish there and you can still, do some stuff. So, well, cool, man. So let's put you on the spot here. What do you think it's going to take to win this thing here at Elwood this weekend?
Based off of my research, but I don't know, weather-wise, it's been hot in Nebraska. This week we're getting this huge humidity deal where it's going to feels like over 100. And I'm not sure about Elwood out west, but it's still going to be 90, 95. So we'll see what happens there. I think it's got to be 85. I don't know if anyone's going to get to 90, but if you get to 90, I think you're probably feeling pretty good, but you got to be over 80.
Is there 90 in that water, do you think?
The past couple tournaments, I don't know. maybe if there wasn't 25 other guys going around,
Right, right.
But yeah, that's what I would say. I think you get close to 85 and you're probably feeling pretty good.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, listen, man.
That's just my guess. Again, no
Right.
expert.
Sure. Well,
Based
that's a
off
good.
of looking at past history.
I was going to say, off the last one that was there, I want to say 22 possibly is when the last big event that was
Yes,
there.
correct.
And yeah, that was 85 and some change
Yep.
to take that one there. And so, yeah, man, we're excited. This is going to be a ton of fun. For us, it's a quick turnaround. We've got a TPO event where we're taking a combat vet out on Wednesday. We'll get back. I'll unhook the trailer, get my tournament rig in the back of the pickup, and then we'll be leaving probably 3 a.m. on Thursday. We'll be on scene. And yeah, looking for a couple days of a weight loss program there, of sweating off some weight, because I have a feeling that's going to be for sure in play. But I'm bougieing it out this time. My buddy and I, that's coming. We got a nice hotel. They're up in Lexington, so cold shower, air conditioner.
That's a 10-minute drive or something. I don't even think it's that far from Elwood.
Exactly. I was pretty excited about that because it's you can and I was just coming back from Minnesota through Nebraska, and we stopped there so I could take a look at the hotels and get an idea on parking lots and such. And I was like, yep, I know right where we're at. So, well, cool, man. We're excited to come there. Looking forward to working with you. And please know, man, that anything we can do to help you guys out, we're down like a clown to help another club out there, and you guys always welcome to any of our events. If there's anything we can do to help any of our Nebraska brothers and sisters with lodging or something, I mean, it's a kayak community, right? We'll do what we can to help out to set some people up if it's lodging that's stopping them from being able to make the trip or whatever. I'm sure there's things we can figure out. There's a lot of resources out here. We can work that kind of stuff out and share campsites or whatever else we need to do, man. It can be done. So we'd love to have you guys over here to come take our money. That's always we got back when our football teams were good.
Yeah.
There used to be a rivalry, with the Nebraska Colorado thing always.
Sure.
We've been in the trash can for so many years that it's not much of a rivalry anymore.
This year's going to be a good game, though.
It could be. Be. I'm hoping. Besides all the glitter, the guy actually he does teach a lot of good things to these young men. So it's finally good to see the Buffs getting back to some fundamental basics, right? So I think everybody needs that. But all right, brother. Well, listen, thank you so very much for stopping in here and chatting with us. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And folks at home, make sure to go out and check out the Nebraska Kayak Bassmasters. It's a private group out there, but if you're in the Nebraska area, if you're here in Colorado, check them out and watch along there. We'll be on Tourney X. Elwood Reservoir is where we're going to be this weekend on Saturday, and it's going to be a heck of a good deal. 2 people are going to realize themselves a trip to the biggest stage in kayak fishing right now down in Texas next year, and that's worth more than any prize, any dough. I think for a lot of folks is the chance to go represent down there. So that should be a ton of fun.
Yes, that's going to be great.
All right, brother. Well, thank you again, and go ahead and hang out. I'll move you back to the green room, but hang out there for me till we roll out, and I'll be right. We'll have a chance to chat after the show here.
That's good. Thanks, guys.
All right, folks at home, if you're watching this is not live. We are pre-recorded here. Thank you so very much if you're watching the pre-recorded show here, special edition of the podcast. Make sure to smash that subscribe. That's the biggest piece right there. You talk about a way you can really help us out. The YouTube channel is a big function for us. It helps us reach out and get our name out there in regards to spreading the mission about getting our nation warfighters into more kayaks and talking fishing, man. This is anything we can do to get those more supporters. Like, that's a big deal. Your subscribes, your likes, your follows, all that stuff comes in there. As always, folks, we appreciate you. We love you. Tight lines. Be safe.